All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our sponsored breakfast. Thank you for waking up a little bit earlier. Hopefully for most of you. I'm sure some of you were at the party last night. I can see it in your eyes. So my name is Dominique Silva. I'm from Trane Technologies, part of the Enterprise Innovation team, and I'm so happy to welcome you here to our purpose-driven innovation session where we will be talking about reducing food loss in low-income communities while uplifting them. So a couple of things. So you probably got a little bit nervous when you saw cameras around. It's okay. They won't be pointed at you. They will be pointed at our speakers since we will be live streaming this session because we wanted to be able to share finally the first premiere of our Operation Possible initiative and our cooling cart, not just with you lovely people in the room, but all of our audiences around the world. So the live stream will run for about 30 minutes, and then I'll give you the signal when the live stream is shut off. And then what happens at Verge stays in Verge. But until then, just to make you aware so you know why the live stream is going on. If you saw me at the entrance, I probably bugged you and asked you to scan a QR code. I saw most of you did it and played around with a little point to tell us where you are. So happy to say we've got quite an international and diverse audience in the room. 80% of you are coming from the US of A, which was expected, I suppose. But we also have some folks from India, Zubin Varghese being one of them. I see someone from China. And I forgot to put my little dot here, but I'm actually coming from Belgium. So there you go, a little bit diverse. So I'm going to kick it off right now. Let me just quickly introduce our two speakers. So here to my right, I have Rasha Hassanin, who's the Vice President of Innovation for Trane Technologies and the Executive Director of our Center for Healthy and Efficient Spaces. Did I get that right? Whew, it's a long title. You should see her LinkedIn profile. It's kind of funny. And then here to my left, I have the lovely Zubin Varghese, who joins us all the way from Bangalore in India. He is the Senior Innovation Director and led our first social innovation project that we'll be talking to you about. As we get ready to go live, this is the part where my heart starts beating really, really fast, although we did do 3 hours of tech checks, so hopefully we will go live. As we go live, you will be hearing from Mick Ebling. Anybody know Mick Ebling? Name sound familiar to you? That was a test question. Okay, so Mick is the CEO and founder of Not Impossible Labs. I'm not going to talk too much about what Not Impossible Labs because he does, but I do want to take the opportunity to thank our partners from Not Impossible Labs who are with us at the back of the room in the darkness as usual. Just for all of their collaboration and helping us bring Operation Possible to life. And many of the stories that we're going to share with you today, they helped us craft those stories. So get ready for an interactive session. It's not going to just be talk. So you'll have some cool videos, some cool music. Dancing is totally allowed, but please not on the table because we do not take responsibility for that. And we will be asking you to participate in some Menti polls along the way just to make sure you stay awake. So without further ado, we're going to get ready to kick off the live stream, and as we do, we'll hear from Mick Ebling from Not Impossible Labs. Thank you and enjoy the breakfast.
Hey everyone. Thanks for coming out this morning. My name is Mick Ebling, founder and CEO of Not Impossible Labs. So Not Impossible Labs is an innovative social technology incubator based in Venice Beach, California, where I'm talking to you from right now. So what does that mean? What does a social tech incubator do? It means that we believe that changing the world starts with a commitment, a societal commitment to see absurdities that exist in the world and then figure out with programming and hacking and creating hardware, software, whatever, figuring out how to create prototypes to those absurdities. And then, together with a wide array of partner companies and organizations, figure out how to scale it to get it to the hands of the people who really, truly need it. So together with partners like Trane Technologies, we raise the bar on innovation and the change that can really exist in the world. So I'm super excited to talk about the journey that we've been on with Trane Technologies and introducing you to Operation Possible. So Operation Possible started about 2 years ago when I first met Mike Lamach, this incredible man and the former CEOs of Trane Technologies. And we talked a lot about purpose-driven innovation and instilling a culture of impact and purpose within the company. And I knew he was serious about this mission because he asked his employees, all 37,000 of them, what absurdities or challenges that they saw in the world and what did they want to solve. And the response was incredible. Hundreds of ideas came in, thousands of people weighed in on everything from climate change to safe drinking water for all, but overwhelmingly, the people of Trane Technologies stepped up and wanted to first tackle the challenge of food loss, food waste, and world hunger, something that's very, very near and dear to the people at Not Impossible Labs. So the teams came up with incredible ideas, and we now have a working prototype that's in development, and we're super excited to share it with you today. So with that, I'd like to introduce you to Rasha. Rasha's amazing. She's the Trane Technologies Global Innovation Leader, and Rasha will tell you what the Trane Technologies team has been working on.
Thanks, Mick, and thanks to the team at Not Impossible Labs for their partnership. So welcome to everyone in the room. Welcome to everyone on the live stream. Thank you for joining us as we share for the first time our journey around Operation Possible outside of our company. Operation Possible came about early in our journey as a company. So Trane Technologies, I like to say, is sort of the youngest 100-year-old company in the world. We were part of a broader organization, and in 2020, we became a very focused climate innovator. And what we do is we do heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and refrigeration systems or thermal systems for buildings, for homes, and for transport. And when Trane Technologies came into being, our CEO at the time really wanted to align all of our employees around our purpose and really innovate more broadly for the world. And so we conceived of this program, Operation Possible, which was really around engaging every employee around problems or challenges in the world that they were passionate about and really unlocking their potential to address those issues. And so we launched the program a couple of years ago, and the response was amazing. Thousands of employees logged on to our crowdsourcing and crowd-solving platform. They submitted hundreds of ideas, and we used those ideas to really not just engage employees, but really get diverse thoughts forward to really make sure that every employee's voice was heard. People could submit ideas, people could vote on ideas, people could develop their concepts. We had these fantastic virtual jam sessions. This was in the middle of COVID. And so it was just a really amazing program for us. But before we got into all of this really great problem solving, we actually wanted to engage employees' passion. And so we asked them, as Mick said, what problems do you want to solve in the world? What challenges do you see in the world that really need to be addressed? And we went out to them, and we all 37,000. We said, tell us what you want to work on. And we prioritized those thoughts into 5 key ideas. And so before we hear from our employees around what they said, I'm going to ask you guys that same question. So go to your mentee and ask and answer the question, which global problem would you want your organization to tackle in the world? And while you do that, we're going to hear what our employees thought.
If you think about how innovation, how new things get created, it's a community of ideas.
And we were inspired by the opportunity to do something great through Operation Possible.
We hope all the work can contribute to our sustainability, to the company and to the world.
Why can't we make a technology that will directly leads to the food wastage collection?
We have to innovate. We have to find a way to solve this problem.
So it is all who together are contributing to this community and making this possible.
We have the technology,
We have the creativity.
What we've accomplished as a team of 40,000 employees.
Let's find it. Let's correct it. Let's keep that food waste from occurring.
I'm so excited about what we're doing around food loss.
I didn't realize just how inclusive the innovation process could be.
The goal of this project is not only to reduce waste, but improve the lives of a lot of people across the world.
If Operation Possible can save just one child, then we will make a difference.
I became a bit responsible towards the food I have.
I've started to look at food in my home a little bit differently.
We can have an impact on future generations that will walk on this earth.
And I'm hopeful that our contributions will be truly meaningful.
I look forward to staying involved next year and years beyond.
Thank you, everyone. Take care.
What problem do we think they chose? Food? We actually had a really close race of 5 different problems or challenges we wanted to go solve. And what we decided to do actually was do all of them. So we were going to do them one at a time. We started with the juxtaposition of food loss and hunger in the world. And we decided we were going to, every year pick up one challenge and really engage them on how to solve it. And so we did. We chose food, and then we went on this amazing journey with our employees. What was really fantastic about what came out of this was all of the challenges they chose were very much aligned to our purpose around sustainability. They were aligned to the UN SDGs and the world's journey around sustainability. And it was exactly what they were passionate about. So when we chose food, we engaged everybody around ideas to go solve the problem. We deep dove into the food value network and where the biggest hiccups were, where the most food loss was, where people were impacted. And we asked them, how do you solve some of these issues? So this process of educating so learning, educating, and then getting ideas was fantastic for our employees. So whether it was our crowd-solving platform or our virtual jam sessions, everybody engaged. And so we came up with 4 top ideas, and we started working on them. And with that, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna actually let you hear from the team that did the work on our first idea that we are going to market with. And so with that, I'd like to introduce Zubin Varghese. He is from our Bangalore office, and that was the team that actually came together, went out and talked to and observed people on the street in India to understand their challenges.
As you know now, we know the food waste is a big problem. It's around $750 billion. We delved more deeper into it. What we found is in developing countries, the last mile is not very well developed, and most of the fruits and vegetables are sold on street carts. And when we really looked at it, we found that it's almost 30%, 20 to 30% of the food is wasted every day, especially the leafies and things like that. So we started with a person called Chitra. She sells in Mumbai, and she's a family maker. She basically helps the family completely by selling fruits and vegetables. She's an entrepreneur. I always asked her why she got into this business, and she says this is the one with the least barrier to enter. If you are an entrepreneur, just go and buy something and start selling. But what we found out is that on a very good day, basically, she will make $5 as a profit. But almost $5 is wasted, the food. So this is the absurdity, You have so much food waste, and then there is so much hunger, this real absurdity. So you see this $5 she sells, $5 she wastes. If we could really reduce the waste, we could basically double the income, basically, of these people. And like this, there are more than 25 million people like this around the world, actually. So it was a big problem. So what we thought is that these people are actually, using this cart. If we can do something to really, enhance the life of fruits and vegetables, at least by 1 or 2 days, it would be very good. So we looked around the world, what can we do? We started making a cart. Basically, it's a retrofit canopy on the cart which they have. So we found this company in California. I think the owner is here.
He's just shy.
He's shy. And he makes this radiative film. So what is this radiative film is like if you have parked your car outside in your house, and if you come in the morning, you see this condensation. This is because it's radiating heat to the sky. But you don't see it during the daytime because the sun is so hot. So they developed, SkyCool Systems is a company, they developed this film which basically reflects most of the sunlight and also cools. So below this canopy, we get on an average between 2 to 10 degrees centigrade below the ambient, depending on the time of the day. And in the evening, this canopy comes down and just becomes a storage. It is almost like a refrigerator. So this was the solution. We are piloting the solution in a town near Bangalore, actually. We have got a lot of pilots running. You'd hear about it.
Awesome. Thanks, Zubin. Imagine what we could do if we could help 25 million street vendors double their income around the world. In order for us to do that, we've got to scale. And so we're going to go to our next poll, and then you're going to hear again from the team around this fantastic journey. But scaling is really going to be our biggest challenge moving forward. We've got these fantastic pilots. We know this works. We know it helps. The question is, how do you get this into the hands of 25 million street vendors? So go to your mentee and answer the question, what do you think are the most critical barriers to scaling this type of innovation? And I'm going to let you do that while you hear this amazing story about how the cooling cart came to life.
In India, there is hunger and malnutrition, and at the same time, when I commute to work, I travel through a vegetable market. I see a lot of vegetables and fruits dumped by the road, and there is a lot of waste. The simultaneous existence of food waste, loss, and hunger is a major issue, and this is one of the first problems that we are tackling as part of Operation Possible.
Operation Possible is one of the initiatives taken by Trane Technologies, where the crowdsourcing of ideas will be passed through certain process to identify which are these kind of challenges and encourage employees to participate in that. So that is how this entire project got initiated. In order to understand how the food loss is happening at the street vendors level, it's very important to understand a day in life of a street vendors.
40 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ತರಕಾರಿ ವ್ಯಾಪಾರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ನಮಗೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳು 4 ಇವೆ, ಸ್ವಂತ ಮನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಜೀವನ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ತಿನ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ತರಕಾರಿ ವ್ಯಾಪಾರ ನನಗೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಇದೆ. ಸಾಲ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಬಂಡವಾಳ ತಗೋಬೇಕು.
ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಬಂದರೆ ಕೊಲ್ತೋಗ್ಬೋದು, ಅದು ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ನನಗೆ. ಅದು ಮಳೆ ಬಂದರೆ ಬಿಸಿಲು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದರೆ ಅದೂ ಒಂದು ನಮಗೆ ಬಾಧೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ.
ನಾವು ಒಂದು 3,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಿ ಬಂಡವಾಳ. ನಮಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದು ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲವರೆಗೂ ಉಳಿದಿದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗಿ 500 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಲಾಭ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಲಾಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು 25% ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ.
ಇವಾಗ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಕಮ್ಮಿ 2-3 kg 4 ಬಿಸಾಕ್ತೀವಿ. ಐಟಮ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಒಂದೇ ಸಾಕು ಹೇಳೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ.
They are aware of this problem. At the same time, they don't have a solution. They are desperate for a solution. And once we understood that this issue is there, we were able to develop a hypothesis of how we can tackle this problem.
We ended up forming truly a global team within India as well as representatives from Vietnam, China and even Africa to understand what solution works best for the street vendors.
If we could able to increase the shelf life of these vegetables for a couple of more days, we can certainly reduce the food loss to a greater extent. And eventually that could increase the income for the street vendors as well.
To solve that problem for them, we come up with a solution that can be implemented in the field. We also partnered with a local university whose most of their students are from farming families.
So the MBA students were able to successfully interact with the street cart vendors and local authorities and understand the kind of challenges they face on an everyday basis.
The street vendors, they want a solution to cool their vegetables so that it will look fresh. But the key thing is that they want the solution without electricity.
Passive radiative cooling technology is an interesting thing. Any surface which faces sky gets heated up due to the sun incidence. And night time, when there is no sun, all these surfaces start radiating the heat back into the deep space in a particular wavelength. We found a technology where this passive radiative cooling can be done during daytime as well.
There is a company in California which develops a film like aluminum foil. It radiates the heat to the sky because sky is always at a very low temperature. Once we paste it on the canopy, the temperature below, we can get up to 10 degrees below what it was experiencing before.
So building the prototype is an iterative process. Initially, we procure fresh vegetables and then we have sensors that measure different parameters and we see how the vegetables go bad over a period of time. And then we introduce different interventions, potential solutions to see how the deterioration can be slowed down. We want the solution to be effective. At the same time, it should be affordable. We have to see how to integrate these technologies on carts which are being sold today. So this way we are able to fine-tune our approach and then we formalize the design and take it forward.
Now the last piece was that we have a solution. It's time for us to build some prototype and test out there in the field. So we tested for a pilot study in a place called Kolar.
And in Kolar also we are having a lot of enthusiastic participation from the local government officials.
ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಇವಾಗ ಇವತ್ತೇ ತರಕಾರಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ ನಾಳೆ ಈ ಕೂಲಿಂಗ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಾಳೆನೂ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇದರಿಂದ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಉಪಯೋಗ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
It directly impacts on their earnings. Earnings make a livelihood. Livelihood makes good value inside to the society.
ನನಗೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಅಥವಾ ಎರಡು ಬಂದಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರಿಗೂ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಆಸಕ್ತಿ ಬರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬರ್ಬೋದು.
ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಸಹ 1000 ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಬೀದಿ ಬದಿ ವ್ಯಾಪಾರಿಗಳು. ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಸಹ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಕಾರ್ಟನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ಸಿದ್ರೆ ನಾಳೆ ದಿನ ಜನರಿಗೂ ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೂ ಸಹ ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಸಹ ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾಗುತ್ತೆ.
The beneficiary is going to be street vendors, but the sponsorer has to be someone else. So in order to bind all these things together, we are also thinking how this solution can be commercialized and implemented in a large scale.
We are doing it now in India, but this has the potential to transform lives across the world.
If we could able to consistently show them the benefits in terms of doubling the income, in terms of avoiding the losses, I'm pretty confident over time there will be huge acceptance of this vending card.
ಗಾಡಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಸೂಪರ್ ಐತಿ. ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಎದ್ಬಿಸೋ ಐಟಮ್ ನಿಲ್ತದೆ, ಲಾಸು ದುಡ್ಡು ಲಾಸಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಇನ್ನೂ ಲಾಭ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ.
ನಿಮ್ಮ ಗಾಡಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದು ಅನುಕೂಲ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರಿಗೆ ಇದು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು.
ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ನಮಗೆ ಖುಷಿ ಇದೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ. ಗಾಡಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದು ನೀವು.
ನಮಸ್ತೆ.
So obviously, they absolutely deserve that. And I obviously want to thank Not Impossible Labs who are here, and CIT and the municipality of Kolar for their support through this project to really help us get here. Now, Zubin, you and your team have done a great job designing this, prototyping it. And we've heard from the audience, actually, that some of the biggest challenges here are cost to manufacture. That's what you told us. And global awareness. So you've already started to think about this. What have we done and what's next?
So scaling is the big thing. Affordability is important. So we are actually trying to, first of all, I'm asking Skyco to reduce the cost. That's the first thing.
On record.
And the next one is we are trying to tie up with the UNDP and other UN organizations to basically, they have the wherewithal to take it and scale it up and move it. So that's where we are. And that working on this project, I just wanted to mention one sentence. Working on this project was a privilege. You won't imagine the amount of motivation and other things the team members had, across the world to come to this solution. And we all feel very proud and very proud. Thank you.
Thank you. So listen, the team is doing a fantastic job looking at how do we do this, how do we manufacture it locally, how do we bring the cost down, how do we actually create these kits, how do they get distributed across the world. They've started to have discussions with NGOs and global organizations, but we need help. This is not how we typically go to market. And part of this innovation is really about how do we bring something to market in a way that helps the most vulnerable people in the world, while having the people that want to help connected to this amazing initiative. So we're looking for help. Come see us after this. But the journey isn't over. So this year we took on plastics, and the team is actively working right now in their virtual jam sessions to land on 3 or 4 concepts that are going to help us reduce plastics in the world. And next year, we're going to take on access to comfort. And so every year, we hope to have an outcome, at least one, just like this, that we can attempt to scale and figure out how to take this globally. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you for joining us on this journey. And we'll open it up. We'll open it up in the room here and online for questions, whatever questions you guys have.
Thank you. To input any questions that you have, and once we end this live stream, we'll have some time in the room for questions as well. We did have one come through. Zubin, I'm going to throw this one your way because you look more awake. What other places, sorry, Rasha. So Zubin, what other places are you considering beyond India for this concept?
Yeah, actually we are looking at Nigeria as a first step in Africa. Today we have a meeting in Verge. We got a contact who is there working with a company in Nigeria. We also had contacted them. So we are looking at Nigeria as the next place to do the pilots, basically.
And I think the team is also looking at other countries in Southeast Asia, and expanding the thought process beyond just fruits and vegetables to include meat and fish as well, which is a staple in the ASEAN region.
Okay, we had another question come through. Sorry, Zubin, there's a target on you. So there's
smarter anyway.
So someone in the audience is curious to know whether you've had any results from the pilot in Kolar and can talk to the percentage of food loss reduction with the use of the schooling cart.
Yeah, what we have seen is like if we were losing around like 25 to 30%, with this we are able to reduce at least half of the wastage is reduced. But there are other problems like dust and other, like if you have a cabbage and here is outside, when a customer comes, they have to make it look clean. So they take out the outer covering. So sometimes if it's not sold again, they have to do. So those kind of losses, we are not able to help with this actually.
And I think that the best thing about this is there was sort of 2 big areas when we were looking at loss. One is sort of loss during the day, because as the food loses water, it shrinks. And it weighs less, so they sell it for less money because they sell it by the kilo. The second is overnight. So historically, if you couldn't keep the fruits and vegetables cool overnight, what doesn't get sold at the end of the day is gone. And so now they're actually able to lower the cart, and it acts like a refrigerator, so they can go back out and sell the next day. So there's a lot of benefit here, and I think the other thing the team has done a fantastic job on is, in addition to the SkyCool technology, they've come up with a couple of other technologies that they're looking to introduce that will help with reduction of food spoilage as a result of germs, et cetera. So really looking at how to get that up to almost as much as possible to 100%.
I just forgot to mention, we have a cart down in the grid. We shipped it all the way from India, so please visit.
Come see us.
You'll notice it because it has fruits and vegetables. So let me just kill the rumor, which is out there. Yes, they are real. Yes, you can eat them. Okay. And yes, we bought them a couple of days ago, and we've been actually using the cart to extend their shelf life. So hopefully it's working. It was yesterday. I haven't checked today yet.
She has a question.
All right. I'm going to quickly run to you with the microphone.
No. Yeah.
Well, good morning. First of all, thank you so much for the presentation. Wonderful information. I had no idea what to expect when I came here, and so I'm just pleasantly surprised at everything that's happening here. But I was wondering, is the operation possible? Are these the primary job responsibilities for the resources at your company, or do they do this in addition, like passion type work to other jobs that they have?
So both. So the employees who are participating in the broader program, this is additional. This is in their sort of over and above their responsibilities. The innovation team, however, is responsible for sourcing these fantastic ideas, and so part of Zubin's role is to really identify this, and part of my job is to really identify these opportunities and bring them to market. And so while it is a passion project for everyone, there are the people who are sort of guiding this program along and helping the organization really innovate in this space. It's part of our role to drive that culture of innovation within the organization.
So I have the hardest task because we have 1 minute left, so I think we can take one more question, but we have
Awesome.
10 other questions. So some of them are quite similar, and there are quite a few, technical aspects about the cart. So again, I'd invite everyone to go visit us in the microgrid. Myself or Zubin will be there. But there's a question that came here, which is very interesting, and I'm going to give this one to you, Rasha, to give Zubin a break. So the question is, in order for Trane Technologies to work on something like Operation Possible, does it need to be profitable? Do these projects need to be profitable? And if yes, how does that compare to typical project approvals within Trane Technologies?
Yeah. So the profitability of the cooling cart is not the primary focus of Operation Possible. The idea here is to think about how to help and impact the world in a way that's different from how you would normally do it. So a lot of organizations have foundations. We do as well. A lot of organizations give. This is one more, let's call it arrow in our quiver, around how we can leverage our domain expertise in cooling, engage all of our people in a way that can really make an impact. Because you can only give to so many. You can have people volunteer their time, and those are standard tools. What we'd like to do is get to a point where the people who need to get this innovation are getting it in a way that it's not breaking the bank for organizations. So it's going to require some really strong public-private partnerships. Now, who knows? The next solution, the next set of solutions could be highly profitable for the company. So the profit is not the objective, but it would be a fantastic side effect if we ended up with a solution that had a very core product outcome that helped both people who are the most vulnerable, but also businesses globally. What I will also say is this is truly a shared value project. So these technologies that we're implementing are technologies we're looking at for enhancing our existing business. It's just another validation point for some of these technologies. So ultimately, the outcome of this will lead to profitability for the company. It's just not a straight line as you might think. And so we expanded our point of view on this to say, how do we impact the company in a way that's different, but do it in a way that's helping all of the most vulnerable people in the world, and really leveraging our partnerships to do that. Hopefully that's helpful.
They look satisfied, Rasha. I think
billions of dollars. No.
All right. So with that, I want to thank you again, Rasha and Zubin, for coming all this way to share with the people here in the room. And I know we had over 100 people also joining us live on YouTube. Thank you so much again. So for those of you here, I invite you to either visit our microgrid and or visit our booth if you're interested just to learn a little bit more about Trane Technologies and what we do besides cooling cards. I mean, we've been around for 100 years, right? And then if you want to go back home and share this, so we have a lot of information available on our webpage, tranetechnologies.com/Operation Possible. If, and hopefully you're coming out of here with ideas, either you would like to work with us or you know someone who we should be working with, please either grab myself, Zubin, or Rasha. We'd love to talk with you. If we don't have that chance, you can reach this team at operationpossible@tranetechnologies.com, or you can find us on LinkedIn. Either way, we'd love to get in touch. So with that, thank you. We'll conclude the live stream. This will be available on demand in case you want to watch this all over again. We do have 10 more minutes left in our schedule.